Hello everyone, my name is Yuvan and welcome to the channel again. Today I'm going to be recording the final layer tutorial for the 3x3 Rubik's Cube. So if I'm correct, you came to this video because you wanted to completely finish the cube. That's right, this step is going to be the final step in solving the 3x3. Once you solve this, you're going to be done with the entire cube. So if I'm correct, you've probably already learned how to solve the white cross, white layer, second layer, and you came to this video because you wanted to learn the last layer. So as I mentioned before, you this is going to be the final step in solving the cube, and once you solve this, you're just going to be done with the cube. So maybe once you solve this, maybe you can impress your friends, show off in public, or maybe just keep it to yourself. It's your choice. Or you can move on to solve bigger cubes, but we're not going to get into the bigger cubes now. We're going to save that for a different tutorial. So let's begin this tutorial. Now, before we begin actually solving the last layer, you need to have your second layer completely solved like this. See how these bottom row and middle row colors are matching and the white is also solved? That is what your second layer should look like. So if you came to the tutorial, I expect you to have a fully solved second layer on your cube. So now let's begin the solving of the last layer. So first you need to get a good grasp of what notations are. Notations are basically moves that are written by letters. For example, this would be R, or this would be U. This would be U prime, or this would be R prime. Now, if you already watched my 2x2 tutorial, which already has a pretty good cover of the notations, you should have a good grasp of what they are. If not, I'm going to give you a brief but easy to understand explanation of notations. You see this move like this? This is called R. This move is called R prime. And by the way, if you need to, please take a note of all these notations down on paper so that you won't forget. Continuing, this is U and this is U prime. U stands for top layer, R stands for right layer. This is L, which means left layer. And this is L prime. This is D and this is D prime. D stands for down. F for front layer is this. F prime would be this. Note that prime is always the reverse of the normal move. This, B, stands for back layer, this is B. And this is B prime. Now, those are the pretty basic notations that you would need to solve the cube. Now let's start solving. So if you already solved your second layer and you have this little dot on the last layer, I'm going to give you a little algorithm, which is basically a set of moves to move on to the next step. So to do the yellow dot, if you have the yellow dot, you need to do F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. If you made it to this part of the video and have this shape, congratulations, you have successfully completed your first algorithm. So now you should have this little inverted L over here. If you already started with this, it should be in either one of these spots, but no matter what spot it is, always make sure to put it in this place so that the L is like this. It's basically like a plus sign, but the bottom right half is just taken off. So if you have this, position it like this. So now, to complete the next step, you should do this algorithm one more time. You could also consider noting down the algorithms as well. So we have to do this F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Now we have this line. If you already started with the line, it should be in either of these spaces. If it's here, make sure that it's positioned horizontally. See how the line is like a railway track? It's like this. So you should position it horizontally, always. Now we have to do this algorithm again. F, R, U, R prime, U prime, F prime. Good. Now you should get this case. Well, you don't have to get this case, but in this case I did. So I have this weird fish thing over here and it's facing down. So what you should do is we're gonna learn a new algorithm. If you have this fish thingy where the corner piece is on the bottom right and these three corners aren't facing with yellow on top, then you should do R prime, U2, top layer twice, R, U, R prime, U prime, R. So now we have this fish case again. Now we should do this algorithm again. R prime, U2, top layer twice, R, U, R prime, U, R. Now your yellow side should be solved. But before we move on, there are some other cases you should need to know, because you shouldn't really get the exact case as me, but if you do, then well, I guess good luck for you. So if you already have your yellow side solved, skip ahead to this timestamp in the video that is going to be in this corner, and you can just skip there. So but if you don't, if you want to, you can learn these other cases. So now I'm gonna give you another case. This one. If you have this case where we have this T thingy and we have like this part is like this basically, and basically if you have 7 white yellow pieces and these two are not solved, then you should do this algorithm. R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U prime, R. Now I'm going to give you another case. Okay, now if you have the T thingy again, but these yellow corners are facing towards you, you should do this algorithm twice. R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U prime, R. So now we have this plus sign. If you have the plus sign, then you can hold it either way. Like, it doesn't matter if you hold it this way, this way, this way. Just make sure yellow is on top. And now we do R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U prime, R. Now we have this again, R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U, R, and R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U prime, R, and now we have this case again, R prime, U2, R, U, R prime, U, R, and now we have the fish thingy again, so we do the algorithm again. Make sure this yellow corner is over here. R prime U2, R U, R prime U R. Now position it like this. R prime U2, R U, R prime U R. Okay, now we covered all the cases and we're ready to move on to the next step, which is called PLL. So now it's time to introduce a new concept, which is called a headlight. A headlight is basically something like this, where these two pieces over here are the same color, but there's another color here. So green, green, and orange. Orange, orange, red. And this is not a headlight because these three are all the same color. But this is a headlight because these two are the same color, but this one isn't. So now it's time to show you the next step. So if you don't have a headlight, what you do is, let's say you don't have a headlight, then that's fine. See, there's no headlight over here. It's just like this random thing. So, but if you don't have a headlight, you should do this algorithm. R, B prime, R, F2, R prime, B, R, F2, R2. Now, look, we just got a headlight. If you started with a headlight in the first place, then you should face the headlight, make sure the headlight is on the front face, and do R, B prime, R, F2, R prime, B, R, F2, R2. Okay, now if you have a solved side and 3 headlights, congratulations, you just made it to the last step of solving the Rubik's Cube. Once you do these last 2 algorithms, you're going to solve the cube for your first time. So now it's time to do another algorithm. Now if you have a solved side and 3 headlights, 1, 2, 3, keep the solved side in the back. So mine is in the back, and you should do R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R2. Now, if your cube isn't solved yet, you should probably have the same case, but the edges are shifted a bit. Now your solved side is still the same, but the headlights may look a bit different. It's okay if you don't notice it right away. Now we do it again. R, U prime, R, U, R, U, R, U prime, R prime, U prime, R, 2. Congratulations! If you made it this far, you should have a solved cube. Congratulations, you just solved your first 3x3 ever. Now you should probably feeling be feeling pretty good about yourself. I mean, you just solved your first 3 by 3. Not many people can do that. So, yeah, you just solved it. Well, that pretty much wraps up this tutorial on how to solve the last layer. Congratulations to all of you who learned how to fully solve the cube with the help of my videos. And thank you all to the people who were watching my videos, but more importantly, the cubing videos this whole time. And thanks for supporting my channel. And I will see you in the next tutorial. Bye, everyone.